And it's actually great to be here. I know you have stereotypes about LA already. I can feel it. I know, I'm so LA, right? I'm tall, I'm blonde, I'm a gang member. But there's a lot of stereotypes about Americans. One of them is that we're fat, right? But not in LA. Like, everybody's working out all the time, they're super fit. But I actually got broken up with once because this guy said I wasn't physically active enough and he didn't agree with my lifestyle. I was like, how LA of a breakup is that? And then I thought about it some more. I think he was saying I was fat. Like, I'm totally LA fat. And then I started thinking about other breakups I've had. Like, this one guy text messaged me, take a hike. I thought he was being rude, but I think he was trying to be exercise. And then other guys have said things like, you're too much for me, you're suffocating me, you remind me of my mother. I'm fat, I didn't even know it. But, you know, I don't actually think I'm fat, but I'm not too happy. I think I kind of have like a big stomach, but a lot of ladies, we're never happy with our stomach, right? It's always a problem area. I'm just going to ease all your worries right now, ladies. No man gives a shit about your stomach. You want to know why? Because the minute you get naked, they're looking at your fun bags and they're looking at your hoo-ha. Nobody's looking at the stomach. This is not the area that they're too distracted by either. Their eyes are going here, here. They don't know what to do with those anyways. They're not hanging out by your belly button. A woman's body is kind of like the map of Ireland. Here's Dublin, here's Galway. You're going from Dublin to Galway. You're not hanging out in Mullingar for the weekend. There's nothing to do there. Nobody's happy there unless your car broke down. You're just going straight through and back up. Then it's great being here. And, you know, when I moved here, everybody loves being from Cork. You got some Cork people here. It's the greatest city in Ireland. It's the capital, right? It's the capital. But they're so proud of it. But then I say, oh, I just moved from LA to Cork. Why? Are you mad? What's your problem? Like, they start yelling, no, really, why did you move here? And I'm like, it's great. What about the people and the culture and the pubs? And, like, the pubs? No, but the weather's shit. I'm like, yeah, I know the weather, but everything else. I'm like, fine. Do you want to know why I moved? Romance. I'll tell you. You guys ever watch old romantic movies? You know when a man's, like, really into a woman, and he leaves, and, like, she leaves him, and he's, like, desperate when he runs after her in the rain? I've always wanted a man to run after me in the rain. I think that's much more likely in Ireland. Especially if I steal his wallet. I think it's going to happen. I think we've got to make those things happen. But it's great because I've been dating over here, and I just actually broke up with someone a couple weeks ago. Tear. So sad. We only dated a couple months, it's okay. But 2 months, I think you can be on your best behavior, you know? But after about 2 months, the real you starts shining through. Like, I'm in bed with him, and it's like, you just let everything go, you know? He got a little comfortable, just let it all out. You know what I'm talking about? Baby talk. What do you guys think about farting? No. Talking about baby talk. Does anybody hear baby talk? No? What about you, sir? Do you ever baby talk?
Not usually, you know.
No? No, with that cute little head, you know, baby talk, you're such a big boy, your cute little head. It's the sweetest thing. You drink your big boy beer.
I'm quite aggressive. I'm pretty aggressive.
Obviously, you guys all want to learn how to baby talk now. That was so attractive. So one tip that I'll tell you about how to baby talk is you can make anything plural. So like your drink sees, or I misses you, or you hungries, just make anything plural. But sometimes it's getting you in trouble. Because I'm out with this guy, and I wanted to go to this one bar. It's like this rooftop bar in a hotel. But I didn't say that. I said, let's go to the one bar with the rupees. I don't really remember that date. And then this other time, I'm dating this guy. He's in law school, and he's going to take his law exam. And I drop him off in the morning in the car. And I roll down the window. I'm like, honey bear, good luck on your testes. I baby talk, that's hard to understand. But Irish people, you guys are hard to understand. Like, the terms that you use, I think we're speaking the same language, and we're not. Like, I'm totally getting confused. Like, when I first arrived here, it's like, hey, what's the crack? How's the crack? Where's the crack? I'm like, Jesus Christ, I know you guys had a drinking problem. This is getting out of control. This other time, I'm talking to this guy in a bar, and he's really into me. I don't know why. And he's about to get my phone number, and he writes it down with a pencil, but he makes a mistake on one of the numbers. So he asks me if I have a rubber. I think he means condom. But I'm Catholic, so I don't know what that is anyways. So it's really confusing. But then this other time I was up in Galway and actually in a rental car, and I met these two guys, and they lived in a hostel, but I was like, oh, I can drive them home. I can give them a lift, but I didn't say that. I was like, oh, do you guys want to ride? Oh my God, is she serious? I'm like, no, it's fine, not a problem. I can give you both a ride. You're both gonna fit, one in the front, one in the back. Are you guys gonna go the same direction? Who's getting off first? Yes, you can put your bag in my boot, but don't shove it in there like the last guy, because he ripped it. And then I mentioned I have a twin sister who's going to get a ride with us, and they just started freaking out. It's in the car. But actually, I have a twin sister. I have an identical twin sister, who I affectionately refer to as Ugly Me. But we actually get along. We're really good friends, and we get asked a lot of stupid twin questions when we're out, though. Like, oh, when you were in high school, did you ever switch places and take tests for each other? I'm like, no, because I wanted to graduate from high school. Like, oh, when you had boyfriends, did you ever like swap and try and trick them? I'm like, no, but sometimes we're so stupid that they would switch on us and we wouldn't even notice. And then it was like, oh, who's older? I'm like, well, not that it really matters. Like, I'm 2 minutes older, but it was a C-section. So I was just like chosen first, which means the doctor has really great taste in women. I like to think back to that time when I was born, because it's all about me. And, you know, they held me up to the light, the nurses were so happy, everyone was rejoicing. And then it's like 2 minutes later, my sister's born. It's like, I feel like I've seen this before. No, it's not really as good as the original. It's like a really bad sequel. Like the movie Hangover 2, or World War II, the New Testament. It's just not as good as the original. But she's actually married now, and so what I like to do is like play tricks on her and her husband. I know what you guys are thinking. But I find out where they're going on a date, what she's wearing, and I show up with my own date wearing the same thing to the same place. And then I tell him, oh, I'm just going to take off to the bathroom and go home. And then he goes around looking for me, and he sees my identical twin sister on a date with her husband. And he goes up to her and he's like, you liar and you whore. And she hits him in the face, and they both have this big fight. I can't go back to Burger King anymore. It's okay. It wasn't even my local one. It's not a problem. But it's funny, though, because we were made fun of a lot for being twins, which is a weird thing. We were also extremely dorky, awkward, and shy, so we were made fun of for that. And we were really flat, like flat throughout high school. I know what happened, right? But I'm from LA, so you'll know whether I bought it or I grew it. But I'm not going to tell you. But, so, as a 12-year-old girl, I got made fun of a lot. I mean, basically the boys would be like, they'd call us NBN, nothing but nipple. Basically, 2 pairs of nipples in I know. So sad. So what do? I have barely any self-esteem. I'm 12 years old. I start stuffing my bra. Anybody here ever stuff their bra? Just a couple of the guys. Okay. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I started stuffing my bra when I was 12. I stuffed my bra all throughout high school. I went to an all-girls high school. Like, I didn't even have to keep doing that anymore. But once you start, you can't stop. Not because it's addictive, but because people are going to notice. It's like taking off a toupee. Like, all of a sudden it's just gone. It's not like, oh my God, she had breast cancer. Like, where did this all go? But it was all going pretty well, stuffing my bra. I was really good at it. Until I got my first boyfriend, freshman year of high school. His name was Reed Wills. He was this tall, lanky blonde with like a mushroom bowl haircut, flannel shirts. It was the mid-90s. It was cool. He looked like a dorky James Vanderbeek from like Dawson's Creek, as opposed to the really cool James Vanderbeek. And we were at our winter formal dance. A lady in red was playing. We were slow dancing. I was wearing red. And I see his hand come up to the side. I don't really know where it went. I don't know what happened. But then I see him later over with his friends. And he's like laughing and pointing at me. It's a true story. I found out later that he had copped a feel, and I didn't even know it because I had stuffed my bra so much. Like, guys, made this picture for you. This is like your first hand job. She goes to town on the crunchy bar in your pocket. It's like, not only was I embarrassed that my secret was found out, but I just missed out on second base. And I started thinking, I've been stuffing my bra since I was 12 years old. How often has this been happening? Like, by now, who hasn't grabbed my boobs? Like, I'm probably a raging whore, and I had no idea. So besides getting groped, my other favorite hobby is wine tasting. Does anybody here ever wine taste? No, this is Ireland. Okay, I came here for the wine tasting. That's why I'm here. So with wine tasting, they have these fancy pants ways of describing things. It's like, wine tasting is like a hobby where you get to be a snob, but you're just like drinking during the day, let's be honest. But they try and make it sound all eloquent, to be like describing the wine. So the smell of a wine, they call it the nose. And when you swirl the wine glass and the wine drips down the side, they call that the legs of the wine. So I'm wine tasting this one time, getting a little paranoid, drinking a lot. And this guy next to me is like describing his wine. This is a wine glass, not a claw. And it's like, oh, it's a full-bodied white. Like he's talking about me. With high alcohol content. Whatever, I've been drinking since noon. Strong bitterness. I call it honesty. Nice legs. Hello? Yeah. And huge nose. Now that is just rude. So I'm kind of a boozer, I'm a lush, but I think my parents raised me right. We weren't actually allowed to watch any TV or movies with sex in it. Like none. Like Dirty Dancing the movie? Sex. Not happening. Star Wars, Princess Leia, gold bikini? Way too scandalous. Not happening. Turn that shit off. Disney's Aladdin, Jasmine's wearing that belly top? She was asking for it. But ironically, I was allowed to watch any TV or movies with graphic horror, language, or violence. But I think it's really made me the person I am today. I'm still a virgin, but I've killed a lot of people. I mean, basically, based on my parents' rules, I can go in the living room, punch my grandma in the face, and tell her to fuck off. But if Dawson's Creek is on in the background and Pacey and Miss Capeside are about to go at it, I am in big trouble. I know I talked about Dawson's Creek twice, but it's an amazing show. It's affected my life. But yeah, I think my parents raised me right. But it's like parenting. I mean, you just can't hit kids like you used to. You gotta get creative with your parenting. My friend, she has a 10-year-old son, and he's making a big mess with his toys. She's like, Austin, clean up your toys. He's like, no, I don't want to. She's like, you better clean up your toys now, or I'm going to go down the hall, I'm going to go into the bathroom, I'm going to go in the medicine cabinet, and I'm going to get some hair gel, and I'm going to spike your hair. I don't want spiky hair! And he starts cleaning up the toys. Like, did you just threaten your son with metrosexuality? Like, if mothers have been using this technique, then David Beckham must be a very bad boy. So one more thing before I go. Anybody drive in here tonight?
Yep.
Oh, yeah? Good. I was hoping I can get a ride. Thank you very much.
Excellent.